All right, welcome. Got full house today, February 18th, regular District 21 Board of Commissioners meeting. And I'll meet for and start with roll call.
Sorry,
I can barely hear you, Bruce.
Yeah, we're not able to hear you very well.
All right, how about now? Yell. So, welcome, February 18th. The Board of Commissioners meeting was started at 1:06 p.m. And we will begin with roll call. I'm Bruce Ansel.
Rich Boschman.
John Crawford.
Scott Fisher.
Kimberly McMurray.
Jason Vanderbeem.
All right, thank you. No public comment, obviously, because of our still executive proclamation from the governor. And we'll go into the Volunteer Pension Board meeting. I'll open that meeting, and the only issue I see on the agenda is the approval of the January 21 minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Chief, is there anything before the pension board?
No, sir.
All right, I'll move to adjourn the Volunteer Pension Board meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we'll open the regular Board of Commissioners meeting. It's 1:07 p.m. and we have the approval of the consent agenda, which consists of the January 21 meeting minutes, the staff reports, financial reports, voucher payroll, and benefits. The total revenue for December was $167,685.40. The total revenue for January was $131,237.97. The total expenditures for February, $785,176.91. I'm assuming, Chief, we have December's revenue in here because we didn't have it at the last meeting.
Correct. Yep.
County hadn't reported. So of the voucher payroll and benefits, the direct deposit payroll was $341,861.33. Payroll taxes, $71,725.70. Benefits voucher, $219,977.17. Monthly expenditure voucher, $129,118.50. Consulting expense voucher, $2,568.75. Capital projects, $19,925.46. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or anything anyone wants to say or pull out or do?
We can go ahead and pull out the train issue. That's been solved.
Okay, that would be under new business anyway, but all right. All in favor of the approval of the consent agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Commissioner meeting reports. John, anything?
No, the 911 board meeting did not happen due to the little skirmish they had in Bellingham. So that's been postponed to a later date. I was asked by the board to set up a meet and greet with councilman or county council person Tyler Bird and 911 dispatch. That meeting, I don't know if that's taken place or not, but I did make that reach out to Councilman Bird and dispatch, and they're getting it set up so that Bird can sit down and find out what they do at Prospect. Like I said, I haven't been up to date and contacted if that meeting has happened, but that's kind of where we're at. And again, that meeting's going to be rescheduled probably now. They said February, I'm thinking more like March. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Anyone else? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on. Local 106 report. Kenneth Cunningham has notified me that the local has two new representatives, Scott Brown and Chris Hollander, as well as Kenneth is still keeping his hand in it. For those of you who don't know, Bellingham Local 106 has elected Kenneth Cunningham as their president of the 106 main local, which is the first time that they have gone outside their unit specifically. And I believe Danny is the treasurer as well for Bellingham. So somehow we have moved into their offices and are assisting them. Hopefully they're not too busy to keep doing a great job for us up here. I'm planning on having a meeting to meet Scott and Chris on March 15th. So I can talk to you, Chief, about that after the meeting. I just reminded myself about that. So whether you want to attend that or how we want to deal with that. So legal issues, there are none. Our attorney is not here today because we didn't have any, other than he has reviewed the chief's contract for our discussions last month. There are a few edits that were fairly minor. I'll go over that contract in executive session, and the copy of the strikeouts and stuff will be available for anyone else in the board to review when you sign the documents, if you have any further questions about that. So unfinished business. City of Blaine Fire Marshal Interlocal Agreement. Chief, you have an update for us.
Not much of an update, just that with the resurgence in our fire marshal's office, I'll have the deputy fire marshal make contact back with the City of Blaine and see. I had made some edits to it. There were some pieces in there previously that was put in by the previous office holder about wanting to be a commissioned law enforcement officer, and I just don't feel it with the size of the City of Blaine and the scope of what we're going to do, that's really appropriate for our agency. So I've struck some of those things out and have him go back through it and make contact with the City of Blaine again to kind of further refine in the scope of it. It was getting pretty broad, and I don't think we need quite that broad of a scope of work in the City of Blaine.
Thank you. The 2018-19 audit was finally completed, and we had an exit interview. I believe that was on the 25th of January. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you want to give us an update? As far from what I heard, as long as it took, we came out pretty well. They did a pretty thorough look at everything we did and had a management letter on issues that either have already been resolved or are still being taken care of. So I think, considering how long it took, I mean, I was afraid they were coming up with a bunch of really bad stuff, but maybe with COVID and that interaction. But Chief, I'll let you talk about it.
I think some of the length of it was probably due to, I know some of the length of it was due to the number of executive officers or chiefs that the district has had in the past couple of years. That raised some eyebrows at the auditor's office and caused a little bit, caused me to want to dig a little deeper. I think that I asked well, I don't think, I know that I asked during my initial interview with them to take a deep dive and kind of help me out and understand the process. And so we moved a little slower. COVID had a big part in it as well. They could not come on site, and we're passing documents back and forth in parking lots. And it was just kind of an odd thing. Yes, but ultimately they found our financials to be all in order, to hold to the highest standard or grade that they give. We did get a management letter concerning 3 things. One was our exit process when somebody leaves, especially someone in the executive level, or if they're in the finance office, or have access to personal information of our employees. They wanted some better tracking of when emails are cut off, when access to accounts are cut off. The second part of the management letter was a holdover from the previous audit on the way we accrued or counted the accrual of vacation and divvied it out. That was actually identified prior to the audit starting, but the fix was still in process, so they had to include it. But we did include them in the fix, in the repair of that, and they seemed to be pleased with that. And then the third piece had to do with more than anything, it was updating our purchasing policy. Our purchasing policy hasn't been updated in years, and the district in 2018 and 2019 was kind of following the current state law, but not our own policy. We essentially violated our own policy on the way that we went for a sole source bid of something and then dispersed funds around it. So those were the 3 things that came out of the management letter. But overall, financially, the district was found to be have very good controls, and that report is posted on the auditor's website, and we have a copy available for each of you as well.
Very good. Anyone have any questions? Right. Thank you to the chief and the staff. I know it was a very time-consuming process, but appreciate all the work that was done on that, and just can't hardly wait till the next one. Regional Fire Authority Planning Committee. Tomorrow's meeting is canceled for those of you who did or did not get the message. And that was because really our intent was to discuss our financial stuff, right? We're waiting on that magic number of what the levy rate could potentially be and how we're going to fund some of these long-term projects. And so we have that special meeting that will be held on the 25th, which will be in person for commissioners at Station 12 and virtual for everyone else. So I have heard from Commissioner Hansen that he has a job commitment, but will be able to attend via Zoom, and just checking in with everyone else to make sure that, one, it's at Station 12, will be socially distanced, and that will also be on Zoom for the public to see. So is everyone going to be there on the 25th?
I will be.
Yeah.
Looks like I can make it.
Pat, you're there?
Yep, I've got it in my calendar and it's blocked out today.
All
What
right.
time is the meeting?
The 25th, get on the right.
1
1 p.m.
1 o'clock. And this one is gonna be a long one. So plan accordingly. We've got a lot of budget and finance stuff to go over to be really ready to roll out this RFA plan. So I know the chief has done a lot of background work. We've had some subcommittee discussions, but we're gonna really need to pick your brains on this one. because we've got all facilities and equipment and staffing model that we've really got to dive into deeply and give some feedback to the chief.
Are we gonna get a packet fairly early, or?
Yes, we'll endeavor to get you as much information as we can as early as we can. So look for something early next week.
And if you don't have a copy of the ESCI report, I would say it would behoove you to open that up and get one and peruse that, because a lot of the recommendations that we're probably going to go from are based on that report. The chief has been working on a staffing model and kind of what we're going to call our basic baseline. Thank you. And maybe talk about what baseline plus looks like based on the SCI report to some degree, but also on the chief's desire to maybe change things around a little bit. So all right. Message from Commissioner McMurray. Her internet has malfunctioned again, and she's trying to get back up and running. I don't know, Chief, if that requires you to do anything or.
Doing it right now.
All right. Okay. So. Today at 3 o'clock, we're going to have our first virtual open house for the Regional Fire Authority. The chief has been working with Karen and Heather on preparing that presentation. So if you don't have anything to do, you can join in on Zoom and see that at 3 o'clock today. Media messages are going out. I know that Heather gave me a sheet to forward to Birch Bay Village. That went out this morning. And I know that Kathy Berg in Birch Bay is sending out all the notices about the RFA that we get. So if you know of any group or whatever that needs some information in a one-page format for now anyway, we have that available.
And the second one is when?
The 23rd at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And that was in the article that was in the Northern Light, and I don't know what other papers it went to.
The Linden Tribune and the Bellingham Herald as well.
Okay. So, and it's on our website as well. So, any other questions, comments? Assistant Chief Process. Chief.
I'm working with Kelly Freeman, our HR, to craft a packet and get a posting out so that we can start the search for a permanent assistant chief. Turns out I'm learning how the admin world works. Turns out January and early February are busy with things called W-2s and 1095Cs. So there's a lot of mandatory reporting that goes on in January. So when I dogpile an additional huge task, it takes a little longer to roll out than I thought it would. So hope to have something posted by at the March meeting, have the job description gone over for approval for you guys, and get a posting out there shortly after the March commissioner meeting.
So the intent is to open it up internally and sort of local, regionally, externally.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Questions? Facilities, we talked about some of the pitfalls of trying to do some of this stuff on our own accord, and then we've got the bidding rules and all that stuff. Any movement on that?
Yes, we've, so through the safety committee, there's been a concern about lighting at most of our stations, exterior lighting at most of our stations. So we are going through and we've got some bids. We got a couple outdoor lighting projects that are going to come up, but each one, like, unfortunately, like Mr. Davis said, each one's got to be kind of gone through piece by piece. Luckily, Chief Ward has been very helpful with that. So we've got some, like I said, we've got some extra lighting coming up. We also recently discovered a water leak at one of our stations. And so that was kind of another facility repair. So we're just kind of building that list that you asked me to build, the triage list of most important things to be done, and we're knocking them out. So.
Okay, so we're gonna go with local contractors, follow that bid rule process, and start pecking away at the issue. All right, welcome back, Commissioner McMurray. Sorry about your internet. You're not in Texas, are you? All right. The last item of unfinished business was the fire chief's quarterly review. We completed that last week, and as usual, the chief passed with flying colors. You know, there's a couple areas that he can't do. One of them is continue his education, because there's not a whole lot available to do that unless he's doing it online. And we're still, I think, kind of pecking away at annual personnel performance reviews that he's responsible for. So I will talk to you guys about the rest of his contract in executive session. There's some compensation updates. We did approve his cost of living, but we'll save the rest for executive session, and we'll move on to new business. The train delay correspondence, John, you said that has been resolved to your satisfaction, or you guys dug up some information that?
Yeah, we're fine. I'm just going to refer her to Nielsen if she has any more questions.
Okay, all right. So you had an inquiry from a citizen, which sort of spurred that discussion then.
It kind of arose from the train derailment and kind of just snowballed from there. So,
Okay.
but I think she's, no pun intended, on the right track now. And any further questions, and I'll just refer her to Nielsen.
Okay, great. I think everything that we saw, that we went through, had more to do with the bridge issue than, I mean, obviously the train was in there, but I think some of the public outreach was going to be about that bridge, and we were, thanks to you, able to get the variance for the engines to get back and forth across there. So appreciate that. Member appreciation, Chief, do you want to that?
Well, on several things, or two things about this. First off, we've included in your commissioner's packet is some correspondence we've had to some members that we felt have gone above and beyond recently. So I'd ask you to take a look at those, and if you see those people out and about, I guess we don't really do that anymore, but say thank you. In addition to that, Commissioner Ansel and the rest of the board had a great idea to really write to show our appreciation for every member of the department. That, last year it's been rough. It's been a steep learning curve, and really everybody's worked so hard to, whether it's keep themselves safe, respond when we don't when we're not sure what's going on or what you're going to bring home, everybody's really risen to the occasion. So there's a letter that Commissioner Ansel's sending out on behalf of the board to all the members of the department to say thank you.
Yeah, and I think everyone got to see that letter, and then I'm adding a little personal note to all of them, which I started that process today. Hopefully those letters will go out first part of next week. Next item is resolution 2021-01, surplusing some equipment. So I'll need a motion to approve that resolution.
Move to
So
approve.
moved.
Moved and seconded, somebody?
Sure, second.
All right, Chief, under discussion, let us know what you got here.
We've got some printers. So what we've done, we have kind of a mishmash of printers, and all using different ink, and none of them, they're all just purchased like at Home Depot or at, Office Max or something like that. And what we did is we consolidated and went. We actually are using a contract with Through Tech Help, and they have the maintenance and ink included as part of the contract. So just trying to we spend a lot of money on ink cartridges and all these different ink cartridges, and we're buying them on Amazon and doing all this other disjointed work. And it just seemed to make sense dollars wise to consolidate everything with one company. The printers are owned by them. We rent them, and they perform the maintenance and provide ink, whether it's black and white or color. So we are surplusing these extra printers. These they're still able to be used, just not by us. So that's the reason for the resolution to be.
All right, so we're gonna put them out on the market and try to get a little bit of money for them. So it's a motion. It's been seconded and discussed. Anyone else have any comments, input, questions from the chief? Okay, all in favor of resolution 2021-01? Say aye.
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 Unanimous. Thank you. Any other new business, chief? Are we good there?
That's it.
Correspondence, everyone's seen that. We've had some letters to the staff from the community toy store. We had the Burlington Northern letter thanking all the partners. We had another thank you for service. We had the letters to firefighter Latham, Lieutenant Scott and Kelly Freeman, the Thanksgiving Assistant Program. Thank you for working on the baskets. The Northern Light. Wow, we had a lot of correspondence this time. And another thank you from one of our customers. So announcement, special work session on the 25th. We've talked about that. Commissioner McMurray, you were offline when we talked about the 1 o'clock special meeting on the 25th that's going to be held for commissioners in person at Station 12 with social distancing, and Zoom for all other members, or Zoom for commissioners if they can't physically make it or have a reason why they don't want to be in the same room as me. So I won't take that personally. Are you available, or do you know at this point?
I believe so, yes. I
Okay.
can be there.
All right, so there'll be a packet of information. It's going to be a lot of budget information. I know that Karen Reed from the RFA Planning Committee is going to be there. I think I saw about a 3-page agenda for that. Richard Davis will be there to talk about what funding options we have overall, not just the current levy rate, but bonds and special levies and all that kind of stuff. I told him he gets 15 minutes, no more. And I think Bill Cushman might be there as well, Chief.
That's the goal, is to have him there
Okay, and
virtually.
we've asked him to be concise with this as well, because he has a ton of,
Yep.
of financial information that he's been working on. So it's going to be a long meeting. So that's all I can say is it's probably going to be one of our longer meetings of the year. So, and if people have to go do other things, I understand, but it's important to this RFA financial plan. I know that Commissioner Hansen will be there via Zoom, and I don't know if we've talked to Harry at all yet, but I'm assuming he'll be there. He usually is very good about attending. So our next board meeting is the 18th of March. Is that okay with everyone?
Yep, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Jenny, I know you're back there and listening. Agenda items for the next meeting. Chief, you want to still hang on to that fire marshal thing?
Yes.
The audit's over. We'll keep Regional Fire Authority report on. You can probably continue to update us on the assistant chief process and facilities. Anything else anyone can think of? All right, it is 1:38. We need to break for an executive session. I'm gonna ask for about 15 minutes of your time for that. So if you actually wouldn't mind just attending the first 5 minutes of that.
Okay.
For a brief discussion of another topic and take us off of